What is going on, everybody? Good morning. Happy Friday. What is going on? Bitcoin, $49,000. Bitcoin, $49,273. What is going on, everyone? We have a really awesome show ahead of us. Threw me off over here, this comment. It really threw off the whole beginning of the show. So let me start over here. People here call me a moron. What language we have over here? When I told them to take profits at $60,000, delusion at best. I'm not sure who you're talking about. You know, you're definitely not talking about anyone in Conquering the Markets that would have said anything like that. First of all, no one would use any type of language like that whatsoever. If you go back to last Friday and you can watch the morning live stream, as I was talking about profits taking at 62,500 on the break of this trend line, I said if you stayed in, you weren't wrong. You weren't wrong if you were still, fully positioned and more, or fully positioned rather at that point. But if we broke 58,500, yeah, at that point, you need to lighten up your position, no doubt about that. Listen, would anyone say that you are a moron for getting out a little bit lower at 60,000? No, absolutely not. That's some ridiculous talk. The market does weird things to a lot of people. The market does a lot of weird things to a lot of people, and that's why they are so irrational. And that's why if you're rational, if you take a look at the markets and you make really important decisions, you're able to do legendary things. Let's make sure that we stay on track of what exactly we're doing and make sure that we're doing it right on time. This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not, welcome back. I'm excited for this Friday session. Actually, it's a really special session because, as Greg noted, today is 99 more live streams left until the top of the Bitcoin market cycle. Approximately 5 months, 20 weeks, right up there. That's pretty awesome, Greg. That's something to get really excited about, and we'll see about that timing. I'm watching this chart over here this morning. This is by The Root over here on Twitter. I don't know how I came across. Someone from Conquering the Markets commented on this chart yesterday and was like, Jordan, do you think we should check out this chart? So let's get a follow over here for The Root for sure, right? And this chart, what's really interesting about it is that not only is it lining up the 4-year cycle, if you don't see the uncanny precision of the pattern that's taking place, anyway, everyone here sees it, right? But here we are right now coming back in for that deep pullback. It's a V-shaped recovery. It's a sharp V-shaped recovery. Now, whether we're going down further or anything like that, we'll look at that in 1 second. What I want to note on this chart, they're talking about not only the days, right? They're not only following the cycle, talking about where they expect the high to be, September the 15th, 2001. Then you have the second cycle peaking at September 13th, blah, blah, blah. They're talking about a 70% drop after the new all-time high. This is the first other place that I've seen or talk about the training session we did 2 weeks ago, where we say we're going to know we're into that bear market really quick because within 6 weeks, we're going to see a 70% drop from the all-time high. And that's again how we're going to know we're right on time and we know exactly where we are. This chart pricing that in over here. Look, we're entering the parabolic move right over here right now. It's time in the parabolic move leading off to the blow off top. This is the rocket ship. This is another tradable event we have coming up. We did this probably about 5 weeks ago in a Conquering the Markets training session, and we have rocket trips on our charts where this pullback is expected to happen before the real final big bombastic move, let's call it. But we're over here right now and we're working our way up. We're going to have another pullback or two before we reach over here. Well, definitely one. We're looking for one pullback before we reach the rocket ship area. But right now, how do we get out of this one? How long is it going to take? It's a steep pullback. It's a steep pullback that we're experiencing. But if you put it into a little bit of hindsight, it's only a 27% dip from the high that we just put. This is, for this cycle here in 2021, it's a little bit bigger of a pullback than we've seen. We've seen what? We've seen 130% or 230%. A couple of 2015. This is a 27% pullback. We could go further. There's no question about that. I want to give you a different view of this chart Wait, before we do that, let's pause over here. By the way, if you're listening and you're watching, you're spending this time here together, if you're here, I just want to thank you for that, for everything that we do here every day. Some beautiful comments shared of waking up to this. This is the first message I woke up to this morning. Jordan, I slept well last night. Thank you. Without your guidance, I would have freaked right out yesterday. Holding strong, conquering the markets. Having that awareness is needed right now because it's game time. This is a really important time right now. You got to make sure that you continue to get it right. A lot of people are watching the dancing bear. A lot of people are scared. A lot of people, you got a lot of people postured. I don't know what was going on. I tried to get this up over here, highlighting what we started the session off over here. People like, blah, 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 blah. People are funny. I don't know what's going on, what the market is doing to some people out there. Listen, before we start talking about repair, or if that repair is going to be happening now, or we have further down to go, which we don't know, right? We have no idea. We're going to talk about levels, about how much further it could go, what we expect is going to happen from here, and when it looks like we're actually seeing a sign of a repair, and then we're getting out of here. It's helpful to have the context of what happened. Oh, by the way, right? I'm surprised. This is my friend here. I'm surprised Asia and Europe didn't buy up more. They're not the ones raising capital gains taxes. Mexico was buying. Last night, Mexico was buying. What was going on in Asia and Europe, over in London this morning, was there a little bit of buying? Listen, Bitcoin at $55,000 looks good to me. Bitcoin over here at $49,000 looks fantastic. There's no question there's a lot of people buying, but we have, let's see what happens. Did you see this tweet over here though? Did you see Max Kaiser tweeting, a photo of the South China Morning Post? Why warning of a dangerous Bitcoin bubbles are misleading? Max saying that China's about to announce they've added Bitcoin to their strategic reserves and everything's about to go gangbuster. Now, I don't know anything about any of that. I do know the South China Morning Post is obviously, it's the South China Morning Post. Everyone's aware. It's like the New York Times, right? Why warning of it's a state media channel. Just like the New York Times, it's a state media channel. So South China, they're saying, look, you can't be warning of a dangerous Bitcoin. That's misleading. That's not true. Bitcoin's not in a bubble. Bitcoin is going to be in a bubble. It's going to be in a bubble in about 5 months from now, and we're going to be exiting. But China's saying, listen, we're launching the yuan, right? Don't worry about Bitcoin, but worry about those dollars. Bitcoin's not misleading. Those US dollars is misleading. You should trade in the digital yuan. And you see China really almost embracing Bitcoin over this past week. Really, really signal. Listen, is it lies? It's not. They're not lying. They're not wrong when they say Bitcoin is not in a bubble. Bitcoin is not in a bubble. So they're not wrong at all when they say that. Anyway, keep watch of what's going on all around us at all times. People are wondering whether or not the tax cuts could derail the Bitcoin bull market. That's not even tax cuts. Excuse my language. People raising capital gains in the U.S. on those making $1 million or more. Substantially. Listen, is that gonna derail the bull market phase here? Is that something that could be a game changer? Absolutely not. That's not. It's not even worth having a conversation about, only because when I say that, we're looking at real risk. What's a real risk? It's a dollar debt-based system. The U.S. dollar is a reserve currency. If those guys over at the Fed, put the brakes on all of a sudden on the liquidity and cause some shocks, yeah, that's something that could affect Bitcoin's bull market phase over here, and substantially. Are we seeing any type of shortages in dollars that could cause it? No, we're seeing way too many. If anything, we're gonna, this cycle, we're gonna see something like hyper Bitcoinization. Too soon. Is that gonna happen 5 months from now? Listen, I don't think so. But things unravel very, very quickly at certain points. We've all seen that happen. You never know what's gonna happen. You have to keep watching. But the people raising taxes in the U.S. Look, Michael Saylor, he's the one on the bid for Bitcoin. He's not selling his Bitcoin. He's not having that taxable event. Either is Tesla. When Tesla starts accepting Bitcoin for their cars, they say they're not selling their Bitcoin, right? They have dollars for that. They're not worried about that. They want to hold on to their Bitcoin. When you look at the big money coming in, you're going to see a lot of that as well, that type of time preference, especially if you talk about China, that they're doing it for their strategic reserves. A digital yuan backed by gold and Bitcoin. Who could play with that? For sure the Federal Reserve and then US dollar, that coin ain't going to compete. That not at all. So I know. Anyway, let's keep going over here. Let's keep going this morning. I want to get that focus in of exactly where we are, what's going on, because this time's different, right? This time, they're raising taxes and Bitcoin's going to peak like mid-cycle at the point of cycle, by the way, each time where we have this long consolidation. Look at it over here. Look at it in 2017. Where we are today is right over here. Bitcoin in this case pulled back 39%. It was coming off a pullback and a substantial one, 33%. It's not what we're seeing this time. Obviously, the pullbacks are more subdued, but it is coming off a double pullback. One was 30%. The other one was 25%. I'm not even sure. 20%. Two small pullbacks, and now we're seeing 27% pullback. If you looked what happened over here, exactly the point of time that we keep bringing our attention to, right over there, you see Bitcoin right now. It took out that low of that last swing low over here. In this case, that right now, that would be Bitcoin around $43,000. I'll show you that in a second. But it took about 3 days for the recovery to take place. It took 3 days. We're towards the end over here. Whether or not it goes into next Friday, into options expiring or not, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But if I wanted, if I'm putting down what I think is going to happen, if I'm placing a large wager on it, I don't know what prices of Bitcoin is like for you, moving up $1,000 and falling $1,000. But yeah, it's going to be a sharp recovery. It's going to take 3 days, and then Bitcoin out of there is just going to go, start going. Now in 2017, as we made that new all-time high over here and Bitcoin started running, it had a sharp pullback once again. A very sharp pullback. You could see it right over here. Here it is. Like this is the consolidation area that we're in. No. I'm sorry. This over here is the area that we're in right now, the pullback, and then the sharp recovery out. And then you have this quick spike down, testing the area of the breakout. So hold on. I want you to see what that looks like. You could see that like sharp gain out of here, melt your face off, rip your face, move out of the V recovery. It took 3 days last time. Price got caught up a little bit. This was going to be happening the first week of May by the latest, in my opinion. And then after that, but watch out, how many traders get burnt over here as price all of a sudden comes, boom, shoots all the way down. Another 40% correction. A 40% correction. In this case, that would be, for example, price coming, trading from $100,000 and then snapping back to $60,000 or whatever it is, $65,000, wherever we just peaked out, a 35% correction. People are going to be shell shocked because people right over here are having a hard time, like just keeping their composure and staying in the trade. So I guess I get it because I don't get it. But that's what's happening. But that is what's happening. So what's going on? Could this drawdown continue? I just showed you in the last cycle, 2017, at this particular point on chain. If you're not seeing what is happening in this similarity between each cycle, then you're not even on the playing field. Okay. So by the way, so what happens? Are we able to break out over here, this trend line we have over here, and start the recovery out of here? Or are we still coming down further? And are we going to be taking out that last, swing low as we saw happen in 2017? Right over there. There was that last swing low. Price came in, took it out, and then boom. Boom. Heath calls that, I just saw in his video, because Pure Vita had gone ahead and he added that new resource channel. And there's a spreadsheet in there, and it has all the important videos. And one of them was on Heath's from Trade Talk. Our Trade Talk. He's like, this is the market structure, and he explains what's happening as that event takes place. You should watch that. You should go to that video right on Heath's channel after this and watch that, or you could just go to the resource channels in the Discord and pick it up. Pure Vita, thanks for putting that together. Grateful for it. So anyway, we've been talking about first of all, people yesterday like, what shakeout? What are you talking about? When did you say anything about a possible shakeout happening? We'll just go back, just watch any video from last week. We spoke about it every single day, and now it's happening. And now as it's happening, as I said before it happened, if it happens, it's going to be a V shape. It's going to be quick and it's going to be rapid. Yeah, we've done a lot of technical damage, but look at the steepness of this. Talking about that right here this morning, this beautiful chart, Reza shared this morning, and it's conquering the markets all day long. Now, some people might need a description, right? He's like, this is a possible, with the qualifier possible, bull flag, but it's very steep. It's bullish, conquering the markets. And I retweet that, and I like it because that is bullish, first of all, a sharp descending correction. Now, whether or not that is a descending wedge, or you look at it as a very steep bull, it doesn't even matter. It's the same trigger point. It's the break of the trend line. The steepness is beautiful. The chart here, the chart work, this is art. This is gorgeous. It's beautiful. Why I bring that up, I think, was because of the result. So the result is this. It's a sharp descending wedge. Sharp outcome, same outcome as a steep descending bull flag. Outstanding analysts conquering the markets all day long. This is where we are, but whether or not we come out of this here or we have another very probable or possible, move like this back down toward this area of 46,000 or whatever. I have that over here, 46,000, that's a good number, or we go down further because we've said for this past, ever since the correction started, I've always said to you, listen, 38% is $40,000. It could happen. Be prepared for it. And by the way, if that is happening, I've always said, 48,000 is a weak level. 38,000 is a lot stronger. That's a 41% correction. Do I think it's going to happen? I do not. I didn't also think that the steepness of this correction would be 27%. I thought it would be around 20% or lower. You never know what's going to happen. Be prepared for everything, But nevertheless, you should be able to sleep very well at night, knowing what we're seeing playing out on chain is the same exact thing that happened 4 years ago at this very time on chain. And seeing and having that awareness of what happens next is so crucial, so important. By the way, if you're watching this on the replay, I'm so glad that you're here. Could you go ahead and smash the like button? Because the guys doing it live are just not in it. They're lacking a little bit. And we got to get going over here because it's a Friday session. Right now we're looking at Bitcoin trading lower. What was this? This was at Bitcoin 47,000. Bitcoin trading here 48,000. Perspective. And what we're looking at is a big candle that's about to take off over here. We are getting ready for the parabolic phase. The timing on it, whether or not it happens today or it happens, next Friday, options expiring out of that weekend, into the first week of May. May is, it's coming, and I want you to prepare for it, because that's why when we refer to what's going on as the silly dancing bear, because I understand where we're at in the cycle. I understand where we're at on the cycle, and this is just some silly bear stuff over here. 27% correction. 27% correction. People getting like Bitcoin derangement syndrome. People on conquering the markets calling me names because I exited at 60,000. What are you talking about? You talk nonsense. You're deranged. So either which way, expect further downside, until we get through next week. But here's a look of what that downside most probably would look like. If we come out and take out that swing low around 43,000, I have a feeling that's where it ends. That's the extent of the move. That's still substantially lower from where we are right now. And what type of pullback is that, by the way? In a percent, 33% pullback. It would be the biggest pullback of this bull market phase over here. It would be the largest correction, but comparing it to the corrections of 2017, it really would not be a large correction. Actually, at this point on cycle in 2017, we had a 39% correction. And that 39% correction, after price started the parabolic move up, had another 40% correction right after it. Expect volatility. It's the bull of all bulls. That's what it is. But anyway. So where does that bring us today? Silly bears dancing around. I loved that when Head Snack did the taco video for us. He's got the matrix in here. He's got the matrix in here. And listen, let's go ahead and play this right now. It's Friday. Is it Taco Friday? Listen, today's not a day, right? It's not like today's not a day where I'm like, oh yeah, man, I'm making bank. I'm making bank. I got enough tacos here for the whole village. Doesn't even matter, But today's a day of being grateful for being where we are, who we are, what we're doing over here. There was a tweet that I wanted to share with you. We got a lot of stuff to get into as well in the rest of this session over here, even a look at the equity markets over here. But this was important for me. Did you see this over there? As the price of Bitcoin, if it reaches $200,000, think about this for a second. Half of the world's billionaires would be crypto billionaires. Half of the world's billionaires are now crypto billionaires, right? That crypto wealth has the vast potential to reshape I can't even say the word. Please excuse my pronunciation. Philanthropic. I can't say it. Anyway, classic Jordan over here. Doing good stuff for people out of the goodness of your heart. How about that? Doing good stuff for people simply out of the we're better. Doing out of love for the Lord. And we're going to change the world. Jordan, if you become a billionaire, please don't ever stop conquering the markets. Please, please, please don't stop the YouTube channel. I promised to keep throwing down the smashes of the like button in return. And that's what it is. And that's what we're doing over here, So, of course, there's no way. We have 99 more shows to the top of the Bitcoin peak. Greg is giving us a pretty good situational awareness. Right? Don't hold us down to the episode. I'm trying to find out where I deleted that over there. But that's not where this ends. That's where this doesn't end there or anything like that. We're gonna keep going over here. We're gonna just keep doing what we do here. This is not about it's a lifestyle. How about that? It's just a lifestyle. Jordan, your session yesterday. This is Thursday's session was absolutely your best to date. I was surprised to hear this. Coming from somebody who had watched all your videos since September, July, August 2022, every single one, every single day without fail. Outstanding work, and one that is astonishingly unnoticed by the broader CT crypto Twitter. Gracias. Thompson, thank you so much, man. I didn't know that, it's interesting to hear you say what, obviously you watch every episode that thank you for saying the work's outstanding, but thank you for saying that yesterday's really resonated with you and you felt it was the best. That's important for me to hear, as we continue to keep on making sure we keep on signal over here. This was a big break that occurred. You could see this is the trend line going back from below right around $20,000, $17,000. Since price took out $20,000, this trend line was never breached. This trend line was never breached over there. And then you could see it taken out, already coming in for a retest. That resistance so far is coming in for a retest and holding. We could resume down over here. There could be more pressure for sure. But the steepness of this is such that as this springs out over here, it's going to be a sharp recovery. That's what, if you look back, this was a steep correction over here, although be it not as far as in percentage wise, you see the breakout and then you have one retest and then a sharp move out. The recovery is very, very quick. This one is a little bit more, it's still steep, but it's more sideways in comparison over there. And you can see the breakout also has a symmetry to how that went, that corrected down. And then that strong move, but slowly towards up. And then it makes the all-time high. And that's what here's another one. You can see the symmetry of the correction and the symmetry of the recovery. These are just examples that are all before us. If you're watching this on the replay, if you're watching this on the replay, if you're watching this just on audio without seeing visually what I'm looking at here on the charts, thanks for hanging out for a second. I can't describe what is taking place in all these areas. So I'll be like, look over here and now over here. But if you're seeing this visually, you could see the symmetry, and that's what we're expecting on the way out over there. Something to mirror. When we break out, well, that we can't foretell the future, but we know where the line break is. Once the line break happens, then we're looking for that type of symmetry on the outside. So there we are. There we are. Yeah, there you go, Gino. I like the description over there. The more it's like a slingshot building pressure for the parabolic move. There you go. Yeah, you got it. So what else do we want to look at? You got it, though. Absolutely. Joe, Michael, but yeah, absolutely. This is what we do here. We just sit down, hang out together, talk about the markets, and make sure we have that clarity to do what we need to do in order to do astonishingly great things. I was not looking personally. I was hoping we, again, 27% pullback. It's not really a big deal in Bitcoin bull market phase. It's even under the 30%. Obviously, this cycle it's clearly noticeable. The pullbacks and drawdowns are to a lesser degree than they were in 2017. You're seeing the volatility increasing, but it's increasing to the upside, not to the downside. But at this particular place on chain where, I love this chart over here from Root. Got to give Root a follow over here, CTM, because he's got the chart, and this is what we've been following. We're coming towards the rocket ship, we're getting, how many days is that? Is that 3 months out? 3 months from now, or when I say 3 months, I say that arbitrarily. Obviously, we're here now. This is where I'm hyper laser focused so that we all know where we are. So no one's making any type of decisions that they're gonna regret at this point of cycle, Again, whether or not the U.S. is on the bid right now or today, that's all noise. We'll see what happens, Either which way, we still have another correction coming before we get to the rocket ship. It's a rocket ship because this correction, it just leads to the blow-off vertical move, But this is the parabolic area that we're witnessing over here. And it looks like, it's a question of when, in my opinion. I'm giving you by next Friday options expirations. It's not like today. I'm telling you about the possibility. There was last week I tweeted to you. Wow, what happens? How are we gonna break? How are we breaking out? Or it was as we broke over here. Hold on one second. I just want to get this right for the record. As we broke out of that first on the 2-hour time frame this week. As we broke 55,500, right over there, 55,500. And I got back over here fully positioned telling you if we break down below 51,000, first break up there. But by here, you got to get yourself way out of there. You got to be worried about getting that liquidation level much lower. And then pointing out, we could go down as far. 40,000 is a 38% pullback, Anyway, here we are, and as this area occurred over here, I was hoping that was it, but I said to you, this is when I tweeted, we do have options expiring next Friday. It would kind of be weird to make the breakout when we see each month the move into the end of the month, price pulling back all of a sudden to break out ahead of time. Nevertheless, if it happened coming off of that double pullback, I wanted to be, I wanted to be participating. There's no question about it. Why? Again, we all got different goals. There's no question about it. We all have different goals. We got a good episode ahead of us over here. There's a lot of stuff that I still want to talk about that's very interesting. I was bringing up, the whole billionaire, We all have different goals, and something like this, you got to make sure that you don't get too aggressive. Especially as price will continue to go higher over here, and at portions of it where you start feeling really frothy and confident. Overconfidence and confidence are two different things, But listen, anyway. So yeah, this could hurt me, this little bit over here. By the way, to a degree, doesn't change something as far as what I'm trying to achieve. Let's call it within a 4-year cycle. It's not gonna there's not gonna be any change there whatsoever. Anyway, that's some stuff that if you can understand what I'm talking about, you understand it, and if you don't, you don't need to. You don't even need to come close to anything like that. What you need to be focused in on making sure we hit Bitcoin 140,000, that you achieved every goal that you set out to accomplish. Or if you just started following our work and what's going on over here yesterday, that you're making sure that you're preparing in order to take advantage of what's happening 4 years from now, regardless of when that is. Always looking out ahead, seeing how to position, when to position with that hyper laser focused awareness. We got 1,000. We made it up to 1,000 on this Friday, and that's good. Dancing Bears. This over here is pretty interesting to me. This was Kraken sent out a report, and they're talking about like Kraken's intelligence central bank digital currency report, Kraken Intelligence. And they're talking, I'm interested in CBDCs. I've been interested in them since, early 2018 when the IMF started releasing their white papers on them. I'm interested in them as Janet Yellen is talking about, the days, she remembers the days when they first got around for the old, she's old, man. What is she doing in charge? Anyway, she's the former Fed chairman. What is she doing inside the U.S. government? Man, what's going on? Anyway, they're talking about getting together for a new Bretton Woods and changing that monetary system of ours. The Chinese just launching the digital yuan. Couple of years away, 2022. This year, pilot program, MIT and the Federal Reserve putting out a digital dollar beta test. They're getting ready. Things are happening. I want to know what's going on. I read through the report, or I should say glanced through it, because there's nothing here of substance, for me at least, of what I'm trying to know and understand. But, I guess, anyway, intelligence community. There you go. But I'm definitely I just want you all to know, spending a lot of time continuing my focus, understanding what's going on, as that's what we do here. Well, from the very beginning, we've been, seeing the matrix for what it is, and that is what we make our decisions around. Jordan, do you personally think alt season's over? Well, welcome, brother. I'm so glad that you're here. It is good that you are here. Alt season will end after the peak of Bitcoin. We're looking approximately 5 more months over here as we watch Bitcoin getting ready out of this pullback, out of this shakeout that we've actually have named it and called it way before it happened, right? As we were breaking out over here, good chance it's not going to happen, and then really quick correct it down below 62,500. That was the first trend line break, a sign something was going wrong, and it led to a correction. We haven't seen price in how many days now? 6 days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 or 9. Let's count again. Counting's off over here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Going on 9 days, make a higher high in the daily time frame. This is a shakeout over here. The steepness of it now definitely reflecting the steepness of the shakeout in the first cycle, the steepness of the shakeout in the second cycle, and now occurring in the third. And we're waiting here. And it's a countdown until we break out over here and to the upside. I noticed over here we're seeing, these. I feel like I see these charts all the time of like people showing you the top of the stock market. And over here you can see the Dow Jones looking at a 92-year log scale resistance line. Yeah, I see that. It's a good line. Price trading right above that right now, barely. At it. It's time to call a market top. Well, this is zoomed in over it. Yeah, I mean, that's a breakout, retest, resuming off. That looks like a lot of FX pairs we've been looking at, actually. Has a very similar structure over there. But yeah, I mean, so you're above the resistance, you're saying? And you're calling for a top again? I think, like, yeah, when you're below the resistance is rejected. You can see the sell-offs. Now you're above it, you know? Are we witnessing the breaking of the financial system? When I say are we witnessing the breaking of the financial system, did you notice, though? Did you notice that as the tax hike, what is it called? The tax hike, you know, the money grab, you know? So man, government is a funny thing, you know? Government is a really funny thing. But there's one thing for sure is that, they just don't know how to spend money. You know, government is definitely, how do you say, a antagonist when it comes to free markets. You know, but as they talked about raising taxes, you saw the dollar go bid. The dollar went bid. It went bid above the trend line we were watching yesterday. Let me come down to the 8-hour time frame. Watching this trend line, which you could see here, and by the way, we follow this stuff on the daily. You know, did you get a close above on the daily? Clearly a rejection over here. It was close though, and for a period of time, price was trading above that trend line over there as the tax hikes were announced, and then since has sold off. So the question was, you know, as the government starts printing and spending more and more money, and now they're talking about they just put out new trillions every several weeks. It's getting astonishingly ridiculous. They're going to need to start and continue to raise taxes across the board. I'm not just talking individuals. I'm not just talking about wealthy individuals, you know, or those making over $1 million a year and more. You know, that's where they begin, you know. And, you know, when that stuff's all digital, by the way, you know, the taxes come straight out of it, right? It's going to get ugly, you know. So market fading that really quickly. Market fade. How did the equity markets respond? They were down yesterday, right? Well, the equity markets, that's bullish. We like to see that on the equity markets. That's a beautiful bull flag. It's coming right into that trend line. Man, that looks so bullish over here. Thankfully we had that correction. You know, could Biden's tax, you know, raise derail the Bitcoin bull market? You know, come on, guys. Anyway, this is looking good over here. You can see it though. It looks clean. It looks beautiful. This was a healthy correction. We didn't like it up here. Remember? We were just like, there's no way we want to look at it. Is it too soon to look at it? Can we go further? What does it look like if we break down below this trend line? Are we coming down to a bit? Yeah, that would be more attractive. That would be a time maybe to really look at it. But just notice what the structure is right now. And it's very, very bullish over here on the equity markets. S&P 500 too. I mean, it's just all very bullish. I think you could get a clear indication of when the Nasdaq were to break down or break down another level if it loses this trend line. Gold and silver, how did they react off of, like, you know, this non-event, I guess you want to call it? Yeah, I mean, trends in place, everything looks healthy. You can see this nice channel that's developing over here on silver. It's very orderly, very tight, easy to trade around, easy to set your risk levels above. But, you know, again, these were the entries setting up this long consolidation over here. You know, could you say what we saw on Bitcoin or looked at in those? Bitcoin is different. Asterisk on Bitcoin, coded monetary supply. There's a, you know, obviously you understand that paper, gold, and silver are the two most heavily manipulated markets there are. But are you going to see, you know, the type of the correction over here, the angle and the slant? Are we going to see that resemble over here on silver? And is it going to be a slow moving, you know, somewhere around until the end of May, until we possibly see silver trading up around the high around $29, $30 and getting ready to see if it breaks out over there? That's the current trajectory. That's what I would expect would play out at this point, right? For this to fail, you know, at that point, we got to trade back below this trend line, take out the support over here at 24.32, and then that would be a failure, and then we could be going lower. What's going on with gold, Bitcoin, right? This is gold, silver, gold, Bitcoin. Massive gains being put on by gold. This is an opportunity to attack. This is, and the one game plan put out on this was on, you see those pullbacks occur on Bitcoin, right? Whether it's 20%, 25%, 15%, 30%. Those are the places to scale into this. This is trading not off of the price of gold and what gold is doing. This is trading off of the price of Bitcoin and what Bitcoin is doing as it's getting ready here for its parabolic move against the dollar. It's going to be making that versus gold as well. This is pulled back now 38%. 38%. So we had traded up about, I guess, about 55%, right? 60%. And now, still up 40%. This is the clear direction of the trade, but this is a really beautiful time, to take an entry. And if you're interested, perhaps, in my opinion, not financial advice, and nothing I say at any time is financial advice. I'm just like looking at price and just letting you know what I think of it. And, if you follow that, I think that's, and again, you hear over and over, we have 99 more shows until I watch every day since, this, if you're not making that investment into your time, and just, if you're such a high time preference that you're like, where will the price of Bitcoin be in 2 days? You're out of the game. You don't understand, and you get wrecked. And it's unfortunate when Bitcoiners are like tough love. They're like the big brother with tough love, right? So when they say like have fun staying poor, they don't really want you to be poor, which is why they're saying that to you in the first place, because you're so stubborn in your lack of openness that you're unable, anyway, that's what it is. That's what it is. Here's a beautiful place, though. Oh, not financial advice. This is the place if you're interested, perhaps, in taking some trades on XAU, Pax Gold. This might be the place right now, a good entry over here to start getting acquainted with everything that you need to do, preparing for the coming bear market. And one of the most beautiful positions, strategy number 2, how to trade the Bitcoin bear market. Gold versus Bitcoin. This could be a good place lining up a continuation here of Bitcoin. Yes, we could see a further pullback over here. We could go as high even maybe towards this resistance, seeing this area over here on 0.04, or a 50% pullback where we are. But you already pulled back 38%. Bitcoin here pulled back 27%. Bitcoin pulled back 27%. Yeah, we could go lower. And not only could we go towards our possible expected area over here, which would be a big drawdown. It's a 33%. Be careful. It's 38% into 40,000, and it's even lower to 38,000. It's a 41%. That could happen. That could be prepared for that to happen. That's my worst case scenario, at least, and I'm prepared for it. So, listen. It's been a fun session. I think we covered a lot. Let's play some head snack. I meant to play him earlier. Let me go ahead and drop this, get going, and see where that leads us. Oh, but I will stop the music for that. I will stop the music for that, Billy. Please stop the and no. I am who I am, Billy, and either you love it or you don't, and that's that. But if you don't like the delivery, if you don't like the delivery, then you're so you're so off focus that you have no idea. And Billy, to be honest, you're not the person that fits here. This is not for you. We're looking for people who just have a whole different mindset, a whole different heart. People who look at life in a different way. And to be honest, your inability to do that, Billy, it kind of it brings the group the wrong way. So no.
Markets, analyzing the charts, hitting projected targets within the margin. Find the flow, sip the matcha, and wait for the waves to come in with lobsters. The kind-hearted Jordan Fosters, working smarter, not harder to move the markers. On his way to conquer, trading and investing, drinking the coffee while reflecting on the blessing. The markets are not crashing, the prices might be slashing just to pretend they're in fashion. Hit the like button, comments, and smash it. Boom, boom, Jordan in the room, grab the bull by the horns and to the moon. Flow from the plateau, make the play. Boom, boom, it's a taco day.
Yeah. Why do we play this? That's awesome. And of course, I would understand why you might think, why would we play this over here? Head snack, conquering trading investing, the theme song over here. So grateful for it. Captures so much of the essence of this group and who we are. As does Honeymood, instrumental vocals. It just, if you're watching every day, all that I can say, it just really brings everything together so beautifully. So grateful for it. And again, if you're new here, generally welcome. I'm glad that you are here. It takes a bit of investment. You're investing your time in yourself in the best possible way. Completely life-changing. At the same time, anyway, here we are. It's Friday. We've been on about an hour. People want to look at palladium. People probably should want to look at lumber. Will has been on top of the move in the commodity markets ever since it first broke out on the channel. Out of its channel, not on this channel. We shared it here because he shared it with us, with the group. I love what I see with Conquering the Markets, Twitter, sharing just on top of everything. Huge, enormous clarity, working together. It's really why this group started in the first place. When I set out I used to say it almost every time. There used to be 30 of us for months, every single morning. Heath was there from the beginning. Heath on Trade Talk from the very beginning was there. And, we'd be like, listen, the reason I'm doing this and spending my time sharing what I know about the markets is in the hopes of everyone just continuing to increase in knowledge. And it becomes like this beautiful positive feedback loop where we're working together. And yes, I had every intention of trying to make people better investors, traders, people, in order to help myself. And it has. It's absolutely. I love following the Discord channel. I love seeing the conversations taking place. The analysis. It's absolutely just a really beautiful thing that we share. And I'm grateful for each and every one of you who share in the creation of that. So it's been a good week. It's been an important week, a very, very important week. Last Friday was when we were just breaking below the trend line over here out of the break of 62,500. It was just the first technical break. And since then, we have not made a higher high on the daily time frame. Price trading now down at $49,000. Pulled back as far as 27% overnight. It's one of the steepest corrections of the 2021 bull market. But coming to Bitcoin and volatility, it's the first little sign of volatility that we really seen on the downside. Knowing where we are, and I love this chart over here shared by the Root over here, where we are and about to come out of, right? Knowing where we are in 2017, I think is very, very important, which is right here, right now. Right? Price still came back down and tagged out that last swing low over there. That was off. Again, a double correction. We're seeing a triple correction this time. It's all very similar price action. Be ready for it. Be prepared for it in case it happens. I saw that people were able to sleep well last night, knowing where they are, not liking it. I'm not saying that you should like Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's at $50,000, $49,000. Think where it was, again, that's where it was 2 months ago. But going back further from there, go back another 4 months, go back another 6 months. Bitcoin's trading at $50,000. This is exactly what's supposed to be playing out during the bull market over here. We didn't want the shakeout to happen, but we were looking for it and waiting for it and talking about it on every single episode leading up to it. And here it is. We know what happens. We know what we're expecting to happen. Obviously, you never know. You don't have a crystal ball of what the future is going to bring. But what we expect to happen out of this is definitely a steep, sharp move. it begins the parabolic move into the blow off top. We have 5 months, 98 more episodes roughly till we get the cycle peak. And no, we're not going anywhere at the cycle peak because we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do. We're doing that work, making sure that we're the ones who are going to get out over here. You know, this is a super cycle, yada, yada. The FOMO is going to get real. The FOMO, right now, you're not experiencing FOMO. You're experiencing a lot of fear, not of missing out. You're experiencing a lot of people like, I wasn't smart about this, and now I have not, I've set myself back substantially. Well, come on, you get Bitcoin hits 140,000, that you meet every one of your goals, right? What's going on? You got to get that right, you know? Anyway, it's been fun. It's been fun. I want to play some honeymoon. I don't really want to say that it's the end of the session yet because it's a fun one. It's a good one. So let me go ahead and play some honeymoon and then bring it back and see where we would go. We're going to go some old school instrumental over here. Here we go. We almost had a rant without sound, but we do got the sound things over here. First, Brandon, wait for the repair. 100%. Best words of the stream. Wait for the repair. For those 4 words, the most important words. We should get that out on Twitter. Someone tweet that out and then tag CTM so I can retweet it. But over here, look, that's the line on the chart. Let me go ahead and highlight that for you. That's the line on the chart. That's the first sign of repair. Wait for the repair at this point, unless you're trading strategy number 2, 3 ways to trade the Bitcoin bull market, and you're just leaning into the pullbacks. I mean, 20, 25, 30%, you're looking to buy each and every one of them. This will be a 31% into 43,500. Do not be surprised if that were to occur. Be ready for it, but it's the break, it's the repair. And then Jimmy's asking, listen, what about a weekend update to calm us during the shakeout? No, there's no hand-holding in CTM, ever. When I say there's no hand-holding, that's what we do 5 days a week for an hour, is make sure that everyone has the awareness and focus. Now, there are many of you, like Jordan, you're sick with fever, rest. You don't even bother getting here with us. We know exactly what to do. You have trained us exceedingly well. We are Jedi Masters. Plus we have each other in the Discord group. We know what's going on, clearly. Yeah, I know you guys do. You guys are crazy good. No question about, but we do the hand, but we get together, we make sure that we're there. We make sure we could take as many people with us. Jimmy, bro, anyway, it's all good. I'm glad, but you got this, Jimmy. I know you got this. I know you're on the Bitcoin channel in the Discord. You are all good. You got plugged in as far as we get over here. So success is not easy, right? Endurance, calmness, clarity, patience. That's right, Craig. This is all massive nuggets of wisdom right here. This is the part of the bull market that makes it. This is the part of the bull market, by the way, where you're at right now. First of all, nice to have the Neo insight to be watching for that to occur. It seems like a lot of people are aware of this right now as it's happening. That's good. That's what we want. We want more people aware. We want more people as laser focused as we are. And it's good to see but we've been there from the very beginning, way ahead of everyone, and that's what we want to continue to do. That's why we spend the time together, and it takes that type of work. It's not like, just tell me where we're going 2 days from now. That's nonsense. That's your high time preference is going to destroy you. Anyway, this chart is so beautiful. That's all I could say. And I love, again, on this chart when he talks about the 70% drop after the all-time high. That's the training session we did 2 weeks ago here on Conquering the Markets. You have to be, if you're not a member of the training program and the Discord community, you have to ask yourself why. It costs next to nothing. It's extraordinary. It's in the description below, though. That's how you find out about that. And that's the work we do, though. It's nice to see other people aware, maybe not before, but as it's happening, of what's going on right now. Putting up these 2 cycles gives you the clarity, right? This is the rocket ship, by the way. This is 5 weeks ago. We pointed out this particular day to everyone that's going to occur this summer. It's on the training session. Put a rocket ship on our charts because this pullback is leading into this massive move over here. We want to make sure that we're aware of it, that we're leaning into it. How many people are going to be calling the top over here, or how many people will be getting wrecked over here, and or out of this pullback if we have another steep one, 40% last cycle, 40 regaining it. All of us, Bitcoin has this massive long 2-month consolidation, exactly as happening right now, 2.5 months, puts in a nasty, takes out stop losses over here, this nasty liquidation event over here, and then shoots up, and then all of a sudden, price is like up well over 100% in just a few weeks, and then boom, 40% correction. How many, listen, it's the bull of all bulls. There's the rocket ship preparing for that last pullback leading into the blow off top. We're hyper aware of it all. We're hyper aware of everything that has happened, not just on the upside, but on the coming downside as well. This other tradable event that will occur after the accumulation before the next halving. I'm glad you're here with me. I really am, and let me play some honeymoon here to figure out what's next. There's a couple. Sam's asking if the V-shaped recovery occurs. Does that maybe give it more weight to the idea this cycle is a middle ground between 2013, 2017, both in price and timing? Maybe summers. Listen, someone else said over here. Listen, we're here together. We've burnt the boats. We've literally burnt the boats. No, it's not maybe. Are we in the middle ground between the two? We're in the middle between the first and the second cycle. We're dead center, right? But we've known that for a long time. Does that give it any? We don't. It doesn't need to give it more weight. This is the map. This is the treasure map. This is what it is. We've been, this is how we expect it to continue. We don't need to any another indication. Man, now we're just getting ridiculous though, right? And how we're at first it's oh, watch, what happened in this previous cycle. It happened around this time. Now we're onto some ninja type price movements over here. And, until we get to our rocket ship. We got little rocket ships pointing out, where we are in advance. So as we get there, people are going to be freaking out. Just people are freaking out right now. We got a little bit of Bitcoin derangement syndrome occurring. I see it in the way that people talk, Anyway, what else? Boom, 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 boom. A lot of Ethereum. People, a lot of Ethereum, we got Ethereum over here. So she's bucking. She's bucking, right? I mean, really, when we caught Ethereum was the trendline break, the breakout retest result. That's when we, caught Ethereum. And since then, like, it looks bullish, right? Do you want to give up over here? It's not about Ethereum. It's about Bitcoin. We not only expected Ethereum to be outperforming, we said it would. It is. It's alt season. Is it a question of no? It's the middle of alt season, but it's because of Bitcoin. It's because of Bitcoin. We have 5 more months to go. Bitcoin's the rising tide that lifts all boats. Ethereum's just the boat. So it's nice to see that Ethereum over here is looking and bucking and is super bullish. We want it to be at this point in cycle. That means we're in a healthy bull market. At the end, be very careful though, because look, September, when Bitcoin peaks, Ethereum peaks later, right? That's not the dip to buy Bitcoin. How do you know it's not a super cycle? There's no indication that we're seeing any type of hyperinflation take place in the United States that would lead to hyper Bitcoinization. The dollar's pretty stable. Relatively speaking. I mean, yes, I get it. I know prices are going up. I know boxes are getting smaller. I mean, I've been on Signal from the very beginning. That's what I told you was going to happen. I see it happening, of course, but we're not talking about it getting out of control to the degree of that we're going to see like hyper Bitcoinization in the next 5 months. And if we do, it'll be so obvious to us because we are looking for it always that we'll be on the right side of that trade. So that's what I think about Ethereum. I think it's pretty bullish. I like to see that. Yeah, Justin, we could do that in the next CTM training session. Let me take a screenshot for you right over here. Or that's something I could do even in the Discord. Better if I could go, I'm going to try to go to Tom's spreadsheet and look through all the past training sessions and point out and find the one that we do. Still, I've been sick, still working on the organization back end. Tom has subtitled every single training session. Minute and description, enormous research. I'll help you with that, Johnny. But Justin, I'll help you with that. That's so easy for sure. So what else? Yep, Danny, there could not be better words than that. Could you imagine right now? Well, again, listen, other people are on the bid. There's no question about it. Other people out there don't have the understanding that you have. They are on the bid. Are people freaking out and selling? I don't know. I don't know if the fear is the shakeout been enough. Could we go further? Could we go lower? Of course we could go lower. We're ready for it. And we'll see what happens. But by next Friday, options expiring, that should be the runway clearing up at the very latest, in my opinion. Because of the steepness of the current drop, could it happen sooner? Of course, you just gotta. I forgot who said it, but I said the best 4 words shared this morning, this live stream, is wait for the repair. And there's the repair. You gotta wait for the repair, right? And that's why also, Jimmy, we don't need to keep everyone calm over the weekend. Coming out of this episode of this time spent together, everyone knows exactly with precision what is occurring and what occurs next. I mean, it's where we excel. And we've excelled every single correction, exemplimentary, the best on the whole internet. As it's unfolding, as we're coming out of it, watching and guarding the repair. So we'll just continue watching and waiting. Break out of the repair, earliest opportunity to get in. Could we still go down further? Look at this. Let me put my mouse down over here. I mean, April the 28th. When's next Friday? Is it the 28th or is it the 30th? Could we be under this level? Yes. And if we're under this level, right after there, That should be the trigger. Could we break out sooner? Any moment now. Any moment now. What is today's date? I'm sorry I got that. So it's the 23rd. Next Friday is the 30th. Next Friday is the 30th, right? Is it possible that we have not yet broken out of this trend line? I mean, listen, if that's what's happening, all of you will know exactly what you're watching. So, dun 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 dun. Let's go out with some honeymoon vocals over here. See what else is next. The Silly Bear. So, by the way, wait, Joseph, see, this is where I want to make sure, like, I'm doing something wrong. You know, Joseph, assuming you watched this episode today, but you're wondering, like, do I see Bitcoin recovering by 65,000 by the end of May? You know, by the latest, the first week of May. By the latest, the first week of May. You know, so anyway, yeah, Joseph, absolutely. But either please watch the show again, or if you watch the show, my bad then. You know that I tried to focus on the steepness over here, showing you the symmetry of the recovery. You know, so listen, for those that got it, I'm glad you did. That's for sure. And if you didn't and you watched it, I don't know what's going on. But what's coin opening at today, by the way? You know, how close we didn't get to 250. Look at these insider games being played, reindeer games. What's BNB doing? What's BNB doing? Let's check it out over here. Oof, straight fire. That's how we do it though. That's Coinbase. You guys know how I feel about Coinbase. What else is there over there? Right, right back here. I love CTM2. You guys are outstandingly great. Thank you to the moderators for doing everything that you do each and every day. So great, so grateful for you. You know, prayers to all of you and all of your families. So, boom, 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 boom. There we go, Bobby. We're getting ready for the next leg. It's going to be epic. All ready for it. I love the Silly Bear. That's right. I mean, there you go, Sternway. Silly Bear. My stop loss is 0. You saw oil go negative in 2020. Could Bitcoin go to 0? I mean, look, we got people with orders in. You know, Adam Back being one of them. Obviously, I know it's not going to 0. So, and that's it, everyone. Listen, have a really wonderful weekend. I'm going to miss you over the weekend, but I'm going to use it as an opportunity to rest up. You know, so we are ready for next week. Seth, I love the avatar. Ready Player One. Amazing. Epically great movie. Love it. Neither. You know, straight up protein. But waffles are waffles. You know? And Jan, great to see you. Thank you so much. And then that's good to hear, Martha. Thank you for your prayers. Martha's been here forever, from the very beginning. Martha, thank you so much for you. What a grace to be surrounded by someone like you. Will, thank you, brother. Thank each and every one of you 1,400 likes. We broke it. We'll probably have 2,000 on the replay itself. A Friday session, almost old school Friday session, almost old school. But, you know, it's old school in the fact that we're walking away knowing exactly where we are, where we need to be, and where we're going to be, and making sure that we are here to change the world. All right, everyone. Have a beautiful weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.
Markets, analyzing the charts, hitting projected targets within the margin. Find the flow, sip the matcha, and wait for the waves to come in with lobsters. The kind-hearted Jordan Fosters, working smarter, not harder to move the markers. On his way to conquer, trading and investing, drinking the coffee while reflecting on the blessing. The markets are not crashing, the prices might be slashing just to pretend they're in fashion. Hit the like button.
Oh, I think that's appropriate today. I think the graphics here are amazing. There's an Easter egg in here, by the way. I don't know if any of you have found it. I don't think anyone has found it. We should do some type of game one day to see if people could find. I couldn't find it. It had to be pointed out to me. Once it was pointed out to me, speaking of Ready Player One and Easter eggs. But anyway, look, this is appropriate. The markets are not crashing today. Step back. This is Bitcoin. The markets are not crashing. Perhaps they're on sale, right? And of course, everyone here knows exactly where we are and why. Jordan, what if the cycle does not repeat? Are you sure? No, of course not. Eventually, the model's going to break, right, Anthony? But if you're listen, there's the type of guy in the market that's always waiting for the crash. There's the guy that's he follows the equity markets and he's always waiting for the market to crash, and he's always wrong. And then for that little bit of time he's right, first of all, we know it's crashing. We're the ones who told you it was going to crash before it crashed, and then we're the ones selling it. He's like, oh, okay, now finally the crash is happening. I'm no longer Chicken Little. And that's it. It's over. It's over. And before it's even over. The guy has the worst timing in the world. Don't be that guy that's waiting for the anomaly to happen. You get up, just follow the flow. Swim with the stream. Don't swim against the current. Go with money flows. Is money flowing into Bitcoin, or is money flowing out of Bitcoin? Is money flowing into the dollar, or is money flowing out of the dollar? Is money flowing into the yuan? Right? What is oil being traded in? Is more oil starting to be trading in euros? Is euros perhaps going to be seeing a little bit more volume? Right? You have to follow the flows of money, right? And right now, as China's like, what are you talking about? Bitcoin is not in a bubble. That's dangerous to say that Bitcoin's in a bubble. Actually, it's a good alternative investment. Watch out for those dollars, though. Do you want to put your money? China's basically saying much safer to put your money in Bitcoin than the dollar. Hey, check out the digital yuan. Anyway. It's a good thing the mic was on. How about that? It's a good thing the mic was on. Yeah, listen, like we've given gold all the time that it deserves this week, And there you go. Look, this is a breakout and a retest. Gold is not broken down over here. It's a Friday. You're not looking to take any new positions. You got to wait what's happening, line up. Probably give Asia the opportunity to price out whatever happens over the weekend, But yeah, you got to wait if you get the resumption off here. This is a clean breakout, retest, resumption. It's looking very good. If we fall back into here and close in here, right, just get back neutral really quick until this repairs again to the upside. But gold, why gold now? Why gold now? That's what you got to be asking yourself. Why gold now? Assuming that you already have some type of physical, insurance position that everyone in the world and their family should have. Assuming you have that already, probably you never sell it, pass it on to the next generation. Is there a possibility that during our lifetime it actually loses a lot of value because of Bitcoin? Well, if that happens, I don't care that it goes to zero if it went to zero, right? Because obviously my Bitcoin position more than covers that. So I don't even care, right? But taking a trade right now on gold, well, why gold? You know, what's silver doing over here so far? Just being rejected over in that area 2630, but it's on the breakout. It's on the breakout. It looks so good and so positive. So if you're gonna speculate, you know, there's markets to speculate in right now, and you know, we're in the middle of the Bitcoin bull market phase. Alt season is hot, and that's where fortunes are being made. Talk about it. Bitcoin hits $200,000. When I said $160,000 back in when did I start the channel in October 2019? Some people were like, "Wow, that's a little aggressive. That's a little high." Obviously, we came out, you know, many months ago, was like, "That's completely wrong." You know, uber easy monetary policy by the central banks here. We're going much higher this cycle. We're seeing increasing returns. You know, Bitcoin now at 49,000, and no one's like 160,000. That's ridiculous. You know, make sure 140,000, all of your goals have been accomplished, but we're here to ride it to the top. Everything else, that's the gravy. You know, that's like maybe I'm doing things 4 years earlier than I expected to do. Okay, I'll take it as it comes. I'm ready to participate and do, you know, whatever I can here that I'm making the best choices. So anyway, but you know, right now we're looking much higher. We're not looking at 160,000. That was wrong. You know, we're looking much higher. Or at least that's what I'm looking at. Maybe. I like this analogy, Winthrop. Trade like a surfer. Don't be a salmon going against the current. So, de nada, Miguel. De nada. Mucho gusto. Jordan, focus on the technicals. That's right. Right? How could you not? You got to respect everyone. You got to watch the game take and play. It was, I don't know for how many years Russia and China have been stacking gold. They're still doing it. You know, they're still doing it. Are they stacking Bitcoin, though? That's the real question. That's the real question. You know, if they're stacking Bitcoin, that's then, as Max said out this morning, that's when the fireworks are going to really begin, and it's going to be in a good way. You know, at the end of the day, Bitcoin, not some altcoin, is competing here as money and for M1, and it's only got $1 trillion of it right now. It's only got $1 trillion of it. You know, is Bitcoin going to become a $10 trillion market? There's a lot of money out there. There's a lot of money out there. You know, 100 trillion M1. You know, where's that money going to go? Well, China this morning is like, listen, you know, it's dangerous to call Bitcoin a bubble. You might want to look there. Who else is looking there right now? You know, and are we seeing people that are worried about like some? And did you see the FUD? Did you see reports of 80% tax gains on crypto gains? Right? Where does that come from? Where do people come up with those numbers? You have to be aware of the FUD. You have to be able to reason about what is disinformation, what's correct information, what's misinformation. And you need to do it in advance. It's why we do what we do every day. You need to do it in advance so that as it's happening, you're able to read through all of the hype and propaganda and know what's what. And also know if people are trying to persuade one type of opinion, that there's a reason they're doing it, and you should probably figure out what that other reason is and why. Danny, thanks for spending the time. Everyone, thank you so much. You know, everyone's going to, you know, be speculating, Jason, right? People are speculating a type of a tax China could implement, as well as people are speculating on the way that they could actually, you know, make a strong stance behind Bitcoin. You know, but the question is that these are actually the things that are taking place. These are the games that are being played, and you know, it feels good to be riding the bull of all bulls with all of you. You know, doing our thing here out on the wave, making sure that we understand the waves and the breaks of the waves, so that we continue to. I love this chart over here. It's a good one. I really do. And I love how it has our rocket ship so fully planned. Big shout out to Ian. I'm sure he likes this one also. Everyone, have a beautiful weekend. I'll talk to you soon.